Namaste, Ali here, and today I am actually answering a question that I get very frequently, and it's a very different topic than I normally talk about, not yoga, not meditation. Today we're going to talk about funding your dreams and money and how I save up for things. I have people asking me all the time. I just led a retreat in Costa Rica, and my daughter and we stayed there for 5 weeks. And we go to Costa Rica every year, and we stay for extended periods of time. And I keep getting this question from people like, how do I do that? Or how are you doing that? And how do I save up for something like that? So I was going to share that today with all of the people who have been asking me that question. And also more recently, I've had a lot of inquiries for people wanting to come to next year's retreat. And that's their dream, is to come to our retreat in Costa Rica next year. And also same question, how do I, give me the tips, how do I save up for this? And how do I make it a reality? So today I'm going to talk about some very practical tools that I'm not a money expert. I'm not a financial expert. I read books though, and I implement tools from experts. So I will tell you my favorite tools and my favorite experts, and this is how my husband and I are able to fund all of the projects that we do and all of the vacations and things like that. So first tool is this is a tool that I got from two different sort of resources, and that is I'll mention the books at the end that I use that I'll encourage you to read. But I have a separate bank account, and that bank account just says Costa Rica. I've got that little nickname on there in the bank, in the online banking, and it just says Costa Rica. And every time I transfer funds from my business into my personal account, or every time my husband's paycheck, his salary paycheck goes in, then a certain percentage of that immediately goes into our Costa Rica fund. So for the past several years, for my husband, that's been 12%. And for me, it's been anywhere upwards to 20% of my income. And part of that is because with I should say more my lifestyle. My husband's a little bit more spendy. He likes gadgets and things and buying things, and he's a bit of a shopper. But I like to believe I'm a good influence on him. But we don't buy a lot of things. Some of you know that about us. We aspire to live a little bit more of a minimalist lifestyle and a little bit of zero wasting principles and things like that. So once we take that percentage out and put it in the Costa Rica fund, and then we take our percentage out for taxes and do the same thing, tax account, Costa Rica account, bills and mortgage account, put everything into that. And what other expenses do we have? Anyways, you get the idea. Retirement and like all of the savings for TFSAs and all of that type of stuff, we put that in an account. So there's this Costa Rica account that every time the paycheck goes in, the percentages go immediately into those different accounts. And then we know exactly how much we have left over for spending if we want to, or we can just put that towards whatever we need at that time. So this percentage goes to Costa Rica account. And this is the same way that I do with my business. My business, I have different accounts set up. So on the 10th of the month and the 25th of the month, I go into my business account, I put everything through in their percentages. So I have a profit account, a certain percentage goes directly into profits. A certain account goes 15% directly into taxes. There's a tax account, and then there's an account that's for operating expenses, and then there's an account for owner's comp. So there's the main account that everything goes into, and then twice a month I go in and I take the percentages for each account and allocate so that I always have profits and I always have owner's comp and taxes, and then my operating expenses I really have to keep those operating expenses within that percentage of the business. So that is a technique I learned from the book Profit First. I highly, highly, highly recommend that book. And then for my personal accounting and everything, I have an accountant, a really great accountant, and I have a wonderful bookkeeper. So I have people helping me along the way. But the other book that I have for my personal finances that I recommend to everyone, it's called Smart Women Finish Rich. So it's geared towards women, but the principles are great for everyone. But it speaks directly to women and why it's important for women to have their own financial autonomy and figure all of this stuff out. Because we live a lot longer than men, and you never know. Like, if you can't depend on a man to do all of this for you, just in case something happens, you never know what life is going to throw your way. So it's really important to have all of this stuff on lockdown and to really understand it all. So anyways, that's my little spiel on how I save up for Costa Rica. We also, we are a little bit liberal with how much we put into our account, depending on how long we want to go down for, how long we want to stay. And also, I like to have enough in there that I can also contribute a portion of that to carbon offsetting. So, for example, to fly down to Costa Rica that's very taxing on the environment. There's a huge carbon implication of doing that. So there's lots of amazing places now where you can, I send a bunch of money to this particular organization, and then they will plant a bunch of trees or those type of carbon neutralizing or carbon programs. So I can make a little video about that if you guys are interested in learning more about that. But I also like to have enough in there so that we can neutralize our carbon footprint in our process of travel. So anyways, let me know if you have any questions about any of that. I know it's a little bit different than my usual videos, but I've been getting so many questions about this. I think people think that we live like this extravagant life where, we must be making a lot of money. The truth is, we've been doing this for several years, and we just got to the point where together as a team, we're finally just starting to hit 6 figures together as a team yearly. So before that, we were doing all of this combined on less than that. So we're, in terms of like our friends that we hang out with, we have a lot of friends that are, well above that sort of financial yearly. Anyways, long story short, what I'm trying to say is that you can do this, and you don't have to have, you don't have to be making like $150,000 each, or you don't have to be making extravagant amounts of money. It's possible to do it on any type of budget, depending on, you just have to figure out your percentages and really learn how to budget. So keeping those expenses in your personal life and in your business life to that, confined budget, and in terms of expenses takes, it takes a little bit of figuring out. Everything is figure outable, and how to keep your expenses to a very specific percentage so that you have that profit margin. And anyway, if you have any questions about it, you can type them in the comments below. But that's how we save up for Costa Rica. It's very, it's a system. We've systemized it. So I hope you find that helpful, and I hope that you can fund your dreams using these little tips, and I highly, highly recommend those books. Have a beautiful day, and thank you for watching. If you'd like more videos like this from me, or you have other questions from me, type your questions in the comments below, give me a like or a namaste if you'd like more videos like this. And I hope that this is a helpful little nugget of information for you. Have a beautiful day.